Hello there world, welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be a video from start to finish of me refinishing this forgotten living room set that was just sitting in my client's basement, and I transform it. The set was pretty dinged up and had one broken leg, but I knew that I could refinish it and bring life back into it, so I kind of went with the new Moody dark teal look for it, and this entire video will be start to finish of how I do it. So right here, I always start my projects by cleaning them, and cleaning them very well. Once I finish degreasing and cleaning really well, I always remove as much hardware as needed, and I make sure to save all of my hardware from my oldest pieces to the new ones. You never know when you might need it again. And on this piece, I bought some new hardware just for a new design and a new look. And once I put all the hardware away, I go ahead and do scuff sanding and kind of assess the situation and see what scratches or dings need to be repaired. Once I get all the scuff sanding done, then I go in with some Bondo and patch everything up. And once all of that is done, I go ahead and then sand the Bondo down. And in this video, I will go over this paint. It's Heirloom Traditions All-in-One Paint. I've never used it. This isn't sponsored by any means. I've just really wanted to try this paint. So I go over all the steps. I had to look up a couple different videos and kind of see what the paint was about. So I just read the directions and go through all that. You can skip through a lot of that if you don't need to know about the paint. At the end of the video, I will share whether I liked it or not and my thoughts on it. And I know I say this in all of the videos, but prep is always key. Follow directions on whatever the product is that you're using, and cleaning, sanding, filling in goes a long way. Okay, so on this project, I am going to be using this new to me paint. I've been trying to try this for years. I got like a little kit, so I kind of got a little bit of everything. A lot of people hate this paint. Some people absolutely swear by this paint. We will see which end I fall on, or maybe I fall in the middle. Who knows? I'm going to try to follow all their steps. The whole point of this paint is it has a bonding primer. It has a paint. It actually says interior exterior formula. And then it also has a top coat. It's supposed to be like a kind of velvet type finish. It says you can literally paint everything, interior, exterior, low luster sheen. Let's see, the dry time. Dry to touch in 1 to 2 hours. I know that the cure time is 30 days. I know that's really important. Surface prep, which most time, you know, you need to really sand everything. I obviously sanded a little bit because I had to add Bondo and, you know, sand out some scuffs. But what I'm really going to try to do is just the basics. So this is their degreaser and deglosser. You put it on with this chip brush, and then you use a scouring pad and then wipe off after a few minutes. And it basically like etches this finish to where it gives you tooth for the paint to grab onto. Then you use these, they have these cool like round sponges that are have that little like handle, and you do sort of like a messy base coat, and you just swipe the paint with the foam pad. You just like swipe it everywhere real quick, that I've seen people do, and then like you can stipple it. And then when you come back for the second coat, you use their brush. Just a little bit goes a long way, and you wipe on, and then you back roll with rollers, just basically dry roll. And what that tends to do is give you more of like a factory finish. You're gonna have texture. It's not a factory finish. It's not a spray. One day I will try this as a spray. And this also isn't a perfect piece. I filled in some major dings, but there's still little scratches and little dings, but it gives, you know, pieces like this little character. I got this paint called Mediterranean. It's like a deep teal. And then this one right here is Iron Gate, and it's a black. So what I'm thinking I might do is paint the legs black and this part, which is sort of like that shelf in there, and then the legs black and the rest teal. And then I'm also doing an antiquing like glaze over it. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to get pictures, a little video of the process. First things first, we start with what they call surface prep. It's a liquid deglosser, and you just slap it on with a brush and scrub it really well with the scouring pad. You really want to make sure that you get any oils or just grease that you can't really see. Again, prep is key. If you don't have a proper substrate and clean substrate, paint isn't going to adhere no matter what kind of paint you're using. And this has seemed like a really easy process. I actually loved using it, and you'll see how it totally dulls the finish and adds like a tooth for the paint to stick. I didn't know how I would feel about this, but I actually really loved using it. And talk about making a project go really fast. So I'm going to start with the Iron Gate black color. I did the legs and this like shelf piece of these tables. You just take the paint and wipe it on. I will say right here, I did put it on way too thick. I learned my lesson. Don't put it on this thick. It's supposed to be a really thin, just like almost a wash coat. And you'll see how I do it in a couple other videos when I do more of the teal color. And they call it like an ugly coat or a messy coat. So don't put it on this thick. But it did turn out in the end. And here is what is called stippling. And I was just trying the different techniques that I've seen in videos. I do definitely like this technique for the first coat, and then go in with the brush for the second coat and then roll. You just brush a small section at a time and roll. This paint does dry super fast, so there is a learning curve. I definitely learned a lot with this paint. And right here is what I mean by a wash coat or messy coat, ugly. You just basically throw on a really quick coat and let it dry fully. When you come in with the second coat, the coverage is phenomenal actually, and I love the finish. So this is more how you're supposed to do it, not as thick as I did it. Again, learning curve, redirections, watch videos, but I think all of that time is definitely worth it to learn this paint. Okay, so this is after the messy coat, first coat, ugly coat, whatever you want to call it. So it's just quick. You know, I missed some spots. I'm going to catch all of that later. And here's the second coat going on, and as you can see, it just glides on beautifully. The finish is actually remarkable. I was highly surprised at how much I liked this paint and the finish of this paint. So I just brush on, and then you lightly roll, like super light. There's barely any paint on that roller. And then I had a little towel next to me, and I would dry roll on that towel to make sure that I wasn't soaking the sponge roller. Once I get the color coats done, I come in with their antiquing gel. I'm going to tell you right now, this stuff is a 10 out of 10. I absolutely fell in love with it. I've ordered a bunch of colors. It is a perfect product for kind of that messy, moody, gothic, grungy look that I love. You will definitely be seeing me use this in quite a few projects in the future. Overall, I'm going to give this paint and brand, for my first time using it, an 8 out of 10. There's a huge learning curve. I think in a few more projects, I'll probably rate it a 10 out of 10. This is going in my arsenal, and I already have a huge kitchen project planned with this paint and 2 other furniture projects that I've started with this paint. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you want to see all the future projects I do with this, I have huge house projects coming up and a lot more furniture projects. And enjoy the finished video and detail pictures and the papered drawers. Hope you enjoy the look of this as much as I did and the clients do. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.